Welcome to the party, pal. It's the Cinema 9 podcast, and it is a big day for us. This is our 50th episode. How about it, guys? Let's give it up. Woo! They said it couldn't be done. Well, there was talk for many years. Hey, we should do a podcast sometime. Hey, guys, we should do a pod. We should talk about movies. We never did it. And then one day last year, we did it. And now here we are, 50 episodes in. Travis Roy, this is the Cinema 9 Pod's 50th episode. How does Hazel Park feel about it?
Hazel Park feels great about it. I would like to say to all my friends, and to that, I mean my hosts, you two, and of course everybody listening. We appreciate you guys being a part of this with us for this journey. Thank you.
Aw, that's so nice. Thank you so much, Travis. That's Travis Roy, of course, and then Eric Branstrom in Griffith, Indiana, 50th episode. Any commentary?
The good maskless people of Griffith, Indiana are coming out in droves to celebrate our honorable 50th episode and the inclusion of 1990s Darkman. We're talking Oscars, we're talking quarantine picks, and we're talking Preston Westlake, who I finally figured out what his fucking name is after 30 years. I never known. I saw this a million times.
Peyton Westlake.
Peyton Westlake, yeah.
That is so fetch.
That sounds great. Cool. You're right. We're going to talk Oscar noms. The Oscars are officially out. And Travis reported breaking news when we started, right before we started the show. Travis, what is that news?
Who's dead?
The breaking news is that whoever is in charge of the Oscars obviously watched the Golden Globes and went, fuck that. And they made it so that no one's allowed to zoom in. It's in person only.
That's correct. So no more Golden Globes fiascos, or really a lot of shows where people are zooming in and it's trash. So good call. Oscars doesn't always make the right choices, but it looks like they made the right choice on this one. So congratulations to the Academy and all the people that are a part of the Academy.
Is there a host? Have we heard anything about a host?
No host.
Again, that's fucking sucked last year.
Boo! Boo!
Yeah,
That's too
disapprove.
bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I do recall that. But I'm excited. This is gonna be this is gonna be a great show. So we're gonna talk Oscar nominations. We'll do our quarantine viewing picks, and the main focus, the main event of today's show is Eric Branstrom's choice. Darkman, 1990s Darkman. Does it hold up or not? Starring Liam Neeson, Frances McDormand, and company, and the guy who played Benny from Law and Order. So that's how
That guy.
that is how I know him.
I know him as Robert G. Durant.
Who the fuck is Benny?
Who the fuck is Benny? Are you kidding me?
It was the guy from the Night Court. Is that what we're talking about again?
No, from
CSI?
LA Law.
Benson?
LA Law.
Something like that.
LA Law.
So,
Yeah. I think I said Law and Order. Yeah, it's LA
Whatever.
Law. Benny from LA Law is how I know him, because he
Benetti.
played a mentally handicapped guy, and it was like a big deal because it was one of the only characters ever on TV at the time, before Corky from Life Goes On. So, I believe that's the show, right? Life Goes On?
Pre-Corky?
Yeah, Corky wasn't mentally challenged though. I mean, like, he didn't have those issues. He had cerebral palsy.
Oh shit.
Ooh, Mike,
Okay.
check yourself, bro. We can't edit this out.
No, I'm in trouble now. I'm
Over.
mislabeling things. Anyways,
Over. We are looking for a new host.
it was Benny and Harry Hamlin and Susan Day. It was, and that guy who always who was in Wall Street, and he's like, "You're on a line, Gecko." Whoever that guy is. I don't know his name, but anyways, who cares? Yes, this is Darkman. Will it hold up or not? We'll find out. But first, we want to talk Oscar nominations. It's a big day. Travis likes the Oscars. He's admitted it on the show before, and he always will. I don't think you're going to back down from that, correct?
Correct. I have mixed feelings about the Oscar nominations this year, and that on one hand, the most diverse nominee list ever, which is cool. Can't deny that. But on the other hand, it wasn't a great year for movies, and that's not really the Oscars' fault. I don't know that there was a ton of movies way better that I feel like should have been nominated. I mean, there's some stuff that I feel like is missing. But I look at the list this year, and it does feel a little limp.
Yeah, let's focus on the best pictures, I guess, because there's 10 nominations, right? Or how many is it now? 8?
They can do up to 10, but they chose 8 this year.
Wow. Okay, that's curious. That goes right to your point about, I've listened to a few other podcasts and some other commentary about this year's nominees and the Golden Globe nominees, and how some of the movies for Best Picture just, like you said, not that great a crop, and it's not anyone's fault except COVID's.
Kinda. I mean, and some years are just kind of limper years. I mean, it's just kind of the way it works. I mean, some years it's like, fuck, there's a parade of great movies, and for years later we debate, such and such got passed over. But some years it's just kind of like, well, can we find one?
Well, this year, yeah.
Usually they start coming at you in November, December. The heavy hitters I was looking forward to, mainly Dune and even West Side Story, a Spielberg film, are just waiting a year. So we got some of my favorites came out. Like I said, my favorite, is The Way Back. And that was for me, that was a big snub this year for Best Actor, Ben Affleck and Gavin O'Connor's direction. That came way back in March 2021, all but forgotten. So you just got a lot of lost diamonds in there.
You mean
2020? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just want to make sure. Yeah, that was I was gonna watch it and then I didn't, but I've heard really good reviews about Batflex. What do they call him? Batfleck? Was that what they used to call him?
Batfleck.
Benifer, Batfleck. He's got a lot of names. Why does he have so many nicknames? It's kind of weird.
He's a busy dude, I guess. I don't know. He likes Dunkin' Donuts.
He
wants his fucking double burger.
There you go. We'll put it on layaway.
I was. Sorry, go ahead.
Please speak.
I was thinking that, like, a couple of the movies that I like. Like, I remember when I watched The Trial of Chicago 7. I remember thinking this might be an Oscar contender. This is one of the better movies I've seen this year. But also, like, being like, damn, this is one of the better movies I've seen this year. Yes. I was glad to see The Sound of Metal nominated. I thought that might slip under everybody's radar. I don't know that I feel like it's the best picture of the year. I've yet to see Minari and The Father and Promising Young Woman. So I by the time the Oscars comes, I'll have those under my belt and we'll know by then. But out of what I've seen so far, either Nomadland or Nomadland, probably.
I got a lot of work to do on these. I haven't seen The Father, I haven't seen Judas, I haven't seen Mank, I haven't seen Minari, I haven't seen Nomadland, I haven't seen Promising Young Woman. I've seen Sound of Metal, and I've seen The Trial of Chicago 7. So I got a lot of work to do. Yeah. I love the fact that Riz Ahmed got nominated for Best Actor. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's well deserved.
Yeah,
and personally,
the fucking Star Wars movie, he made it happen. It's pretty cool. He was in Rogue One, and now he's like a big time, like, I am a legitimate actor.
It was fucking awesome in Nightcrawler. As far as Sound of Metal goes, I mean, my best supporting pick, and I was so happy that this guy Paul Rassi snuck in, who played the the really beautifully honest and quiet mentor in the support group for Riz Ahmed character. I fucking love that performance so much. And once Golden Globes passed it by, I was like, I guess they forgot him, but he got in there. I really hope he wins, either him or Daniel Kaluuya for best supporting. It's a little surprise that like Keith slipped in there.
Yeah, what the fuck is that shit?
It's like
it's bullshit.
Why?
It really pisses me off, man. Like, I saw that movie, Daniel Kaluuya. It's called Judas and the Black Messiah. Very clearly, there's two leads to this movie. They're not supporting actors. They're both leading actors. If you want to nominate them, that's great, but put them in the proper fucking role, because on the other hand, you could have, if you done it properly, you would have had room for Delroy Lindo for Da 5 Bloods, which he was well deserving of. He should have been nominated. I will say I was really happy to see Leslie Odom Jr. nominated for One Night in Miami. I thought that his performance in that was really standout, and I'm glad to see that acknowledged.
For sure. And, we loved Another Round, too. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen, I think, definitely deserved a Best Actor nomination. And
yeah, well, they gave Vinterberg he's not going to win it all. I was surprised he was actually in the Best Director nominations for Thomas Vinterberg, which is great. I'm happy for him, but I think it's just bullshit. It's just kind of thrown in there. Seems like they wanted to give Another Round some type of, hey, we got to commend him for something. So let's throw he's been around. Vinterberg has a long history of doing some really good stuff. So maybe this is one of those, like, hey, he's been around a while. Let's throw him in for a nom. That's how I feel about it.
And he's probably going to win Best International Film. I haven't seen many of the other ones, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But I was very happy to see Soul nominated. Because
go ahead, say it.
Because that's the best movie of the year, still, in my opinion. I've not seen a better movie from 2020, in my opinion.
Then Octopus Teacher.
No, then Soul.
Fuck yeah, man.
I thought you were going to go Octopus Teacher. So he got nominated for Best Doc.
Yeah, no, I was happy to see that too. But I was both, it was a weird year in that the best movies, in my opinion, was a documentary and an animated feature.
Wow.
Genius.
Sometimes I feel like the documentaries are always great. When they get nominated, it lets me know, hell, I missed something, because I love docs, so I'll suck them up all day. I need to see several of these.
Time looks really good also.
Time! Crip Camp. Is that now? See, with the title like that, I'm thinking two things, and I'm either thinking gang related, like the Crips. No, it's not that.
No.
Oh, okay, all right, it's crippled. Okay, now I understand. Is crippled a bad word? Is it?
I would
It
probably
is?
stay away from that.
This is not your episode. You want to start over?
No,
We're only
man.
10 minutes in.
Well,
No.
no, there was a great movie though. Crippled Masters was a legendary film growing
Crippled
up.
Masters, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
but
But I
that
mean,
flick.
that's from like 1969 or something,
Yeah.
It's
right?
very old. It is very old.
Nomenclature's
Yes, that's true.
changed, Michael.
Yeah, you know, Bill Cosby, Bill
Mr.
O'Reilly.
Lebowski is disabled, Mike. Come on, get it right.
I was really happy also to see the Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor nominated twice, for Mank and for Soul. I think those were both the best scores of the year too. I mean, Mank's score is fucking unreal. Like it's just
It's fucking good.
it's almost distractingly good. I mean, to me, it was the best part of the movie. Maybe I don't know. The cinematography is pretty great too. The direction,
the
is pretty
sound.
great.
Hey, I'd like to see my
music's
movie Greyhound
incredible.
got nominated for Best Sound, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into the weeds on this. Hey, original screenplays. Those are always interesting, like original screenplays. And I'm kind of disappointed by this year's, which kind of goes back to your point about the disappointment overall, I think. I'm like,
Borat's an adapted screenplay. How is from fucking what? It's improv. Half of it.
How
right?
is it a screenplay? Yeah, I didn't get that. Like, what? Huh? I mean, maybe an outline, but that's not a screenplay.
They need to come out and explain themselves. Like, what is going on with this nomination? What is going on with the fucking 2 supporting actor nominations from Judas and the Black Messiah? Which I heard an explanation that was, oh, it's an ensemble film. Every movie's an ensemble film. Then
There's more than one actor. Yeah, I mean, come on. Well, rounding out some of the female actors, I actually really liked Amanda Seyfried and Mank. I think she maybe even deserves a statue on this one. I just thought the chemistry with her and Gary Oldman was just magic. Frances McDormand, I think, is a shoe-in.
that's for Amanda Seyfried tribute.
I dig her, but Chadwick Boseman, I mean, I think you got to give it up for. This has to be one where I'm totally okay with a career achievement type of Oscar.
Yeah, he gave his life, he gave his life for it. Why not?
Well, I don't know if he sacrificed his life to win the award, but
he died, and he didn't want to die. He died against his will, is my point.
But there's so much. He didn't do it so that he could do the movie, though. The two things were.
No, he didn't.
No,
Unless
that's
his
true. He
contract
didn't.
stipulated.
But death is the ultimate sacrifice. So yeah, I wouldn't sign it either. But
I think it's safe to say he's going to win, right?
Of course he's going to win.
Right, it's a given, but that's okay. I was happy to see
farewell.
Maria Bakalova, for a comedy to be nominated.
Okay. Yeah, take your time, Travis. Baklava.
I'm good. I've made my point, I guess.
What was the point? I don't even know what the point was.
I was Maria Bakalova. She's nominated for the Borat subsequent movie film, and that's a comedy. Nice to see. I mean, I just like to see comedies getting some Academy attention. You don't like that.
You don't see that a lot. Yeah, you don't see it.
What would be the face that I haven't said anything?
You're like
you're already canceled.
If you can't see it, imagine someone wiped shit across your face, and that was the face that he was making.
Imagine if this guy peeled back his bandages and then looked. Yeah, that's what it would look like.
You can see Peyton Westlake behind him.
Peyton Westlake. Are you guys happy that we never ended up seeing the most popular picture Oscar like they flirted with a couple years ago? That was supposed to happen this year.
Very glad they did away with that.
So what do you think would have won this year if there was a best popular Oscar? I mean, fuck, no one's even been to the goddamn movie theater.
Yeah, it would have been the worst possible year for it to be.
Yeah, what was popular?
I think Wonder Woman
Tenet?
84 made the most money, which is a real shame because it was
abysmal.
Turd. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just move forward to better days.
Yeah.
This is a whole bummer, Hopefully this will be the last bogus Oscars, and we'll have some good times in 2022.
Look, if it's any comfort, there's been bogus Oscars before. I mean, like I said, there's some years are exciting, some years are fucking like
2012 when the artist won. It won Best Director, won Best Picture. No one ever talks about the artist ever.
I thought about maybe nominating it on the show just for that reason.
I would have watched it.
I dug the artist.
Yeah, we might bring it back on.
But look at these. Look at these noms from that year. The 2012 Oscars. The artist for Best Picture. Descendants, the Alexander Payne film with George Clooney. Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close. Who cares? The Help is controversial, but it is
But I can
popular
see
at
it,
times.
Yeah.
Hugo, which was a
Oh my
Scorsese
God.
thing.
Yeah. That was not
Midnight in Paris with Woody Allen. I like
that
that
was-
one.
That was
I dug it.
yeah.
Yeah,
come
I
on.
don't know if
But
it's
that was
Best
also
Picture,
the year of Place Beyond the Pines
Oh, just
and
no. Tree of Life.
and Tree of Life.
Well, Tree of Life was nominated. Sorry. Yeah. So.
No, I'm saying, but it came out that year and wasn't nominated. Should have been.
Place
Right?
Beyond the
We're talking about
Pines.
2012, right? Place Beyond the Pine was.
So the 2012 is for the 2011 movies, right?
Oh! I thought you were
That's right.
talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's a technicality. So yeah, it would Place Beyond the
You
Pines.
got me on a technicality.
I don't want to get you. I just want to tell you the Tree of Life was.
You got him.
Tree of Life was nominated for Best Picture that year. It didn't win. And War Horse, which who cares?
Remember that?
Warhorse?
Remember when everyone
Warhorse.
cared about Warhorse? It was like, oh, fucking this movie with this horse. Running through
Snorhorse.
it. I mean, like, it was pretty good, but like, no one, but like, at the time, it's like, this is the movie. This is the fucking movie.
And then one more, Moneyball was the other one best nom that year. So which
Yeah, see, that
has
was a weak year.
it was.
Okay.
You're right. So my point was to validate your point. You're right.
They can't
Sometimes-
all be Crash and The Blind Side.
Yeah, hey, Eric, we're always gonna have Crash, Marco's Pizza,
Green
Whitmore
Book.
Lake Apartment.
We really have to
2000
do that one day. That would be a lot of fun. It's fucking tear it apart.
Me and Eric Brancham alone in the Whitmore Lake Apartment. Each had our own Marco's Pizza, and we
Yep.
watched
Is
Crash together, and we both.
It's a
cried.
little awkward because we never really hung out, just the two of us. But like, we enjoyed the pizza and laughing at how dumb the movie was.
No, I was emotionally moved. I was.
Oh,
So,
Mike was mostly moved.
I
mean,
it
look.
got me. The Matt Dillon scene got me because the music was good, and I fell for it.
I appreciate your honesty. Let's come out and say publicly the first time most of us saw Crash, we were emotionally moved. Second time we saw Crash, we thought, why were we emotionally moved?
Well said. Well
But
said.
the first
Yes.
time, yeah.
Yeah, they'll get you. They can get you sometimes. All right, so there it is. That's some of the Oscar noms. Anything else? I think we covered the basics.
I'll talk about another one when we bring down our quarantine picks that I viewed. But
Oh, okay. Otherwise, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, we know Travis will be watching for sure.
I'll be there. I fucking love the Oscars.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I will watch them.
I don't have
Hell
an
yeah,
excuse,
Mike. Come on,
so-
dude.
I don't have it. You're right. I mean, it's a Sunday night. When is it? March? What? I don't even know the date.
Yeah,
of
what
it.
the fuck are you going to be doing?
What the fuck are you going? Is a good
25th.
question.
Is that right? 25th.
Oh, it's April 25th.
Yeah, April.
Jesus.
We've got
we
time
a while.
to catch these films. Yeah. They just not.
Yeah, I
they
can still get
announced
my butthole checked and everything before that happens.
Sure,
it.
sure,
Fantastic.
sure.
Yay! All right. Oscar
Make the
talk.
happy
Who doesn't
sound.
love it?
Make the so, everyone clapping sound. There we go. Next
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
this
so-
up.
Everyone's happy.
All right,
All
we're
right,
doing,
this-
quarantine viewing picks.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This is a Cinema 9 podcast. I want to remind people of that.
Oh.
So,
Tribe has
I'm
spoken.
sure they forgot.
cinema9pod at protonmail.com. Send us an email if you want. We don't want to break our streak, but if you choose of your own free will to send us an email, that'd be cool. But less sarcastically, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts would be great. We had someone do one recently, and they were really nice. So I wanted to say thank you to the person who did that because, we want to motivate people. We want to inspire them and say, hey, thank you for being a part of the crew because we do this to talk movies, and movies they're kind of community based, are they not?
Absolutely, dude.
Yay! See, that makes me happy. Travis agrees with me. I thought I was an idiot, but I could be wrong. Anyways, thank you for those of you that rated the movie. Rated us 5 stars. I want to say thank you to Blazing Six Shooter. Blazing Six Shooter. A fun group of guys cover a wide array of different films. I love the varying opinions and insights they have on some of my favorite movies. Easy recommend! ! So thank you. Thank you,
right,
Blazing
thank
Six
you.
Shooter.
God bless you, Blazing Six Shooter.
All right. So Travis, yes, quarantine viewing picks. Take it away.
Oh man, I've watched so many movies this week and some
Okay.
good ones. Let me get started here. I want to start by mentioning a couple of notable duds. One being The Magnificent Seven from 2016. The other being Cherry, the new Tom Holland
Yeah,
feature.
I hear it sucks.
Really good because I've seen nothing but raving reviews for this, and I cannot
Really?
fathom why. Like, I don't want to insult anybody that liked this movie, but like, I'm just puzzled as fuck that anyone likes it. It's just it's white dead presidents. It's just white dead presidents updated. That's it.
Really?
It's fucking
Oh.
only done really slow. I mean, it's like just literally like there's like so many slow motion shots. It's unbelievable. It's so slow.
So it's the Russo brothers directing and writing.
Yeah.
Aw.
What the fuck? I was ready to love this movie, but like literally when there's like 20 minutes of this movie left, I'm yelling at my screen. This fucking sucks. yelling this at my TV. It fucking sucks.
Wow.
I'm pissed.
Wow.
And like,
Usually
like, why
pretty,
don't I? I'm like, I got like 20 minutes left. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna finish this
Wow.
stupid shit. And then I was
You're-
mad as hell because the last 20 minutes are the dumbest of the whole fucking movie.
We're gonna get on your face and point out your faults.
You usually go easy on movies a lot more than I do, so this must really fucking blow.
Maybe my expectations were too high. And then on the other hand, like, people told me for years growing up, don't bother watching Harlem Nights. It's not funny. Like, stupid me, I fucking listened. And so I finally watched it, and of course it's fucking amazing. It's fantastic. It was really, really good. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, not amazing and fantastic. It was good. It was good. It's a good movie. It's just not that funny. Like, if you go in, if you want a comedy, then you're going to be disappointed. And if you're expecting like, Pryor and Murphy, you're probably going to expect a comedy. But like the comedies, a lot of it is kind of secondary to what's happening. I mean, some of it's absolutely funny. You got you get Red Fox and stuff in there. You're going to get some pretty funny, some funny moments. But like it's also a movie about like, this Harlem at that time and like gangsters at that time. And it's just kind of like it's kind of trying to be a serious movie. So again, it's not great, but if you like Eddie Murphy and you like Richard Pryor, you should probably put this one under your belt. I watched St. Francis from 2019, which I'm really glad that so many like strongly female movies are coming out. This movie's raw. This movie's really, really raw. It deals with some like woman issues in ways that just I've never seen in film, and I was really moved by it. So I'm going to strongly recommend St. Francis. Eric, have you seen Home Again with your girl Renee what's her name? Renee, what's her name? Witherspoon?
Reese Witherspoon.
My brain went away. Reese, did you watch that Home Again?
Of course, I've been purposely avoiding any Reese Witherspoon films.
It was okay. It was all right. I mean, like I know you like her, and it's kind of an unconventional movie, which she seems to be kind of doing in her the last 10 years or so. She seems to be, we talked about the How Do I Know? Isn't that what it's called?
Yes. How do you know?
What a fucking forgettable title. But just like Home Again, very forgettable titles, but unconventional movies that are still kind of like light at the same time. So that was pretty good.
Okay.
And to kind of wrap this up, I watched some of the goriest movies I've ever seen in my life. But before I get to that, I watched Old Boy from 2003. And, this is a movie I should, 18 years ago, I should have watched it. It just couldn't live up to the hype of 18 years of people telling me this is an amazing fucking movie. And it was good, but to me, it was a great premise that got more and more absurd as it went on. I could see where, I could see its influence. I could see like there's stuff happening in the movie. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that in other movies since, and that kind of stuff. So I was happy to get it under my belt, but what really impressed me was the reason I watched is because I Saw the Devil from 2010, starring the same guy, the guy that plays Old Boy. And this movie, again, a little bit preposterous. I'm not sure how like Korean police procedural work goes, and I'm guessing like it will not do anything like this. But this movie was so so fucking gory, and even like gross with like shit. There's like a shit scene that's kind of rough, but like there's a point that comes in this movie where I was like howling like a monkey, like at my screen, like screaming, like, oh my god, this is fucking happening. Like I'm like screaming at the TV, like, oh my god, but I couldn't look away either. Like, because sometimes violence in film can be like a really intense kind of like emotional thing if it's built up right, I guess. I don't know. This movie had me freaking out in like a fun way. So I definitely would recommend I Saw the Devil. The last one I'm going to recommend, which was very violent and stuck with me in a less fun way, was Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor from last year, which is on Hulu right now. It stars the woman that played Mandy, which hey, that's cool. Wow. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. If you like Cronenberg features, it's interesting that this guy would be like, yep, I'm just going to continue doing what my father did and really well. But it's worthy of applause. It's an applause worthy movie.
There's a bug in here for some reason.
Oh, no.
A freaking gnat.
So really, really violent. There's some stuff in that movie that like sat with me for fucking days, but it was good. But I Saw the Devil, number one recommendation of the week.
Did you see Park Chan-wook's Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance?
No, I'll have to check it out.
You might like that. Yeah, if you liked I Saw the Devil, I'd check that out. Fucking awesome movie.
So you saw I Saw the Devil?
Yeah, I was awesome. I saw it back in the day.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Cool.
That's beautiful. Well, congratulations. All right, Travis Roy with another quality set of top-notch picks.
Genius.
Oh my God.
He rarely lets us down, Travis. He's always got good picks. All right, Eric Brancham, see if you can top that. I don't know if you can. But it's not really a competition, though. It's just more of a, we're trying to share movies and learn from each other.
Is that what this is? I thought this was a food podcast because I'm chocolate chip cookies the other day.
You have a guacamole recipe.
The Stallone retrospective fizzled out to a grinding halt when I tried to watch The Expendables. From
man.
Yeah, I was all pumped up after Cobra. I'm like, all right, I'm back in. Stallone, this guy, he deserves more respect. Expendables is so horrible. Like, the incredible cast, but it's just so piss poorly made. Like Stallone, he's completely out to lunch, and it's the first time I can remember him like acting like he can like tell he's in a movie. And like ever since this movie, he's been kind of doing that, just phoning it in, just fucking terrible, horrible film.
He doesn't want to change, dude. That's what he does now. Yeah.
And you want me to change? Fuck you.
That's Sylvester Stallone checking in live. Thank you.
Set up your own audio bite, Mike.
No, you did it for me. You did all the work.
Okay,
Thanks.
that's true. I took another look at Edge of Tomorrow, which is such a fucking awesome, underrated movie from Doug Liman. Yeah, it doesn't get enough credit. I think we definitely could take a look at it one day.
I think it gets enough credit. Everyone loves it.
You think so?
Everyone I talk to, like, regardless, even if they're not sci-fi people or whatever, people praise it in all the places I've been so far.
Good.
I will say that.
Good.
So.
Yeah, it's just a fun science action thriller. Comes out like after like Oblivion, which is like another sci-fi movie about aliens with Tom Cruise and War of the Worlds. So a lot of people missed it, but don't check it out. Absolutely. So I checked in with season 3 of this show that's on. I think usually it's on like TNT or something. Now they're all on Netflix. The Sinner with Bill Pullman.
Heard of it.
Really cool show. Really cool show. Bill Pullman, it's been a while since I've seen him. He's fucking amazing in this role as this like aging detective. Every season is like its own case. So you get to follow like this detective along like until he solves this case for the whole season. Then the next season,
Bill Pullman?
New murder. Yeah. Bill Pullman's fucking awesome in it. What's so funny?
I don't know.
Give me one bad Bill Pullman performance right now, Mike. Justify that giggle.
While you were sleeping. I don't know.
That's a great movie. What are you talking about?
He's great in that. What are you talking about, Mike?
He wears denim so well in that film.
You're right. Okay.
Anyway, I recommend this program. Matt Bomer is like the suspect.
I like him.
Really
I like
cool.
Matt Bomer.
Yeah, you would like it, Travis. I want you to check out episode 1. See if it's.
I'm going to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to. Only because I don't really like anthology season stuff. Like I don't. I mean, I don't know. I kind of don't really watch TV hardly at all anymore. And if I am going to watch something, I want something that's going to be consistent.
Shocking.
I watch movies constantly. Just not really. I'm just don't really. I don't know. It just sounds.
There we go.
It sounds too all over the place for me. What's happening with these fucking drops?
I was trying to be shocked that I had it on the wrong bank. So I was shocked when I heard you say that you don't really watch anthology television.
Not much.
Controversial gas from the crowd. I took a look at Steven Spielberg's first film that I've never seen before, The Sugarland Express. You ever seen it?
Oh, I thought Duel was his first film.
It was his first TV film. This is his first like theatrical feature because that was like
good.
And Duel was fucking amazing, but it was like an hour, and then he had to go back and reshoot and make it a feature film. Sugarland Express is okay, mostly because of the performance by Goldie Hawn. I never understood why this woman is a popular actress. I don't get it. Do you guys like Goldie Hawn?
Yes, I love Goldie Hawn. How dare you?
I think that she must be. I mean, she like her daughter. She seems like she's probably a glowing person to be around. Like she seems so like she like a effusive personality that just bleeds right through the screen, and it's just the same thing over and over again. And there's not a lot of talent there.
Jeez, come on. Goldie Hawn.
I like
Laughing.
her.
She was great on Laughing. She's funny.
Likable. Right.
And Bird on a Wire? Come on.
I love Bird
Protocol.
on a Wire.
I've never seen that.
Private Benjamin.
I've never seen that either.
Oh, there's all these 80s. The movie Wildcats with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, where she's the head coach of a football team. It's great. You got to go back and check that out.
2?
I think this and the Christmas Chronicles 2 are the only ones I've seen rated.
What about the Banger sisters, Susan Sarandon and Goldie Hawn?
Dude, we haven't said Overboard. I mean, Overboard, man. Fucking
Overboard, of course. Of course, they tried to redo it a couple years ago.
Yeah, I didn't bother. But Overboard, I mean, I love Overboard.
Yeah, I think. Okay,
I'll give her one more shot.
One note. Maybe she might be a little one note, but there some of those 80s performances she actually kind of really tried. So I would say maybe check some of them.
The film itself is okay, but the direction, even from like a 23-year-old Spielberg, is just it's fucking amazing. I don't think there's any director that stages like a scene quite like Spielberg. His camera movements and everything, even that young, were just genius. So I would
Death Becomes Her. Death Becomes Her is great.
A Spielberg feature?
No, Bob Zemeckis. Yeah, I'm not sold yet, Mike.
That was Robert Zemeckis. That's right.
Lastly, friends, I wanted to talk about Promising Young Woman. I did take a look. I pulled the trigger for the $20 rental.
I'm waiting.
$20?
Yeah, I gotta wait. I can't do it.
That's awful.
I did. I decided to pull the trigger. I mean, I saw the nominations come in. I love Carey Mulligan, and I got to tell you, I really, really like this movie. And I didn't like the trailer at all. I was like, oh boy, here we go. I know exactly where this is going to go. She kills the guys. She's pissed off at it. Zags instead of zigs. It's really unpredictable. The script is fresh. Like the first 20 minutes, I was like, what is this, like Jawbreaker? I was getting like a 90s, like drop dead gorgeous Jawbreaker deal. And I'm like, how is this winning all these awards? This is like every movie in the 90s. But then it just starts getting more and more involving and dark and unpredictable. It's like this candy-coated taxi driver goes off in a way I didn't expect. So I really think it deserves all the acclaim.
Thank God it's that getting the acclaim and not I Care a Lot.
Oh, I fucking hated that movie.
Yeah.
Apparently this movie has a lot. There's a big to-do about this film. So
is that right? Oh,
yeah, I still haven't seen it. But there's a big to do. They're comparing it to how the Joker was received, and then apparently this movie's not being received as well. And I'm talking about Promising Young Woman, of course. This is what this is online. This is the chatter, the people, they're out there. I saw a GQ thing saying, why is everyone so pissed about Promising Young Woman, but Joker is getting all the credit for some reason? And so I don't know if there's any comparisons between those movies since you've seen them both.
They're about people that are mentally disturbed.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, I definitely recommend it. Now I think it's $5.99 rental. So if you get around to it this week, maybe check it out.
All right. Well, yeah. So now it's my turn. And you mentioned I Care a Lot. So I'll lead right off with that. So yes, I watched I Care a Lot, and I turned off this movie because I was so pissed. I was really buying into it. And then have you both seen it?
Goes off the rails. Yeah, it goes off the rails for me.
Yeah. I mean, it starts off as a convincing horror movie, and then it just goes in a direction that why are you going? You have this great plot, and you just abandon it.
Yes. I don't get. I don't care. I thought when you originally brought it up, Travis, a couple weeks ago, I thought maybe you were like, wow, because you said it was a tough watch, but I thought you were originally referring to how intensely painful it could have been to be under the guise of this woman. But now I think you were saying like it was a tough watch because it goes to hell.
Well, I love the setup. Like that first half hour I thought was fucking terrific. And then it just completely runs out of steam. The narrative switches on you and it just gets boring.
And there's no one to root for. Like
there's no one to root for.
It's hard to watch a movie. That's I meant it in a lot of ways. Like it's hard because like it's like literally I'm thinking about the real cases that it's based on.
Yeah.
And like this is horrifying that I didn't know that this happened. And then I looked, I Google it as I'm watching. I'm like, holy fuck, this is a thing. And then it's hard because it's
we're supposed to care that she's in danger. Fuck her.
Right. Like I want terrible things to happen to this person throughout the whole movie. So as she keeps, I'm like, this is like you needed to you needed to humanize this person a little bit. All right, we don't need to spend, it's not the fucking I Care a Lot hour, but
never care a lot. Boom, boom, boom.
Which also, all it can do is think of that fucking song every time the movie comes up.
I was like, is Faith No More on the soundtrack before I knew what the movie was? Clearly not, but point being, I can't believe that guy didn't stay on with the band. I don't know why they replaced him with Mike Patton.
He's seriously comparable with Patton in terms of
really.
I'm kidding.
look, I didn't turn the movie off so the moment I jumped out of this movie is when the car goes into the lake. That's all I'll say.
No spoilers.
And that's the only thing I'll say. I was like, that's
There's
it.
still another hour.
But
yeah, it should have ended there.
yes. What happened after that is where I got pissed. I'm like, oh, come on. Is this a superhero movie now? What the fuck is going on? So then I just started fast forwarding it. I didn't give a shit anymore. I was totally into it.
Movie?
Didn't fast forward anything. And I was like, wow, this is taut. It's a taut movie. I was trying to find out slowly but surely what's going on with Dinklage's character. And I was actually into it. And then it ruined it for me. And then they actually cop out with the ending too. The ending's a cop out. They should have ended it without that final thing that happens. That, in my opinion, because that would have been more true to what happens, in my opinion. So
I'm glad it was on Netflix and I didn't have to pay for it.
Yes, thank the sweet Lord.
Someone
whoever Netflix subscription I have, thank you. I really appreciate it. So, all right. So I got that off the books. That's done, which makes me feel better about my life. And what else? So I watched a movie called The New World. I never saw The New World, and I remember this got ripped on a lot. Terrence Malick, Colin Farrell, Christopher Plummer, who is passed recently.
A lot of liberties with history on that one, right?
Yeah.
I loved it.
I actually thought they did a good job of they take liberties, but like the setting and like really putting you in that time, that part they do a good job of. But once you know like what really happened and what they're doing there, then it could kind of ruin it for you.
Pocahontas was fucking 11.
She was about to say that. She was like 11.
Yeah.
It was not. She wasn't doing. And the whole saving John Smith thing. He told that same story about a Turkish princess like 10 years before he told the other story about Pocahontas. It's a bunch of fucking nonsense. One of my least favorite. Yeah, so that's why I can't watch that movie, because it's one of those things where I'm just like, I fucking hate that whole misreading of history as it is. No thanks.
Yep, that's a good point. But I remember like people hated it, so I never saw it. So I wanted to get it off the books. I actually didn't finish it. I turned it off about like when Bale comes into the movie. Well, Malick wants to set a tone. I feel like I'd be betraying Terrence Malick if I fast forward his film, because he really is so deliberate about quietness and just kind of letting things kind of be there. So I know that's weird, but at any rate, I turned it off once Bale comes into the picture. I forgot he was in the credits. It was like 2 hours plus, and then, oh shit, Christian Bale's in this movie finally. So whatever. It's not great. And if you get pissed about historical bullshit, then you get more pissed. All right, I watched Coming to America. Okay. Coming to America. And it wasn't bad.
Did you like when they actually came to America for like 5 minutes?
I did. I was excited. I was like, oh, they're in America again. And then they went back. I like that it was in Zamunda more. I wouldn't have a problem with that so much. I didn't
mind that either.
I didn't think they did a terrible job. I was expecting it to be real shit, and I thought it was okay. So I would borderline recommend it. I would. If you've seen the first one. If you've never seen it, who cares?
I was thinking back at it, Mike. Did Eddie Murphy's character seriously, is he such a big asshole that he made that woman bark like a dog and jump on her leg for 30 fucking years without telling her that
I don't think he
do that anymore?
I don't think he knew that she was still doing it, right?
Well, she literally doing it right in front of him still. So
that's monstrous.
That's I think Eric's point. I thought the same thing, Eric. I'm like, why don't you just tell her to stop, dude? It's been 30 years. She's right in front of you. What the fuck?
Prince Akeem is a monster.
Yeah.
She was willing to just bark. She wanted to be in the second one so badly. It was the original actress, I believe.
Yeah,
and
it was.
Like, all right, I'll just keep barking. It's cool. Just get me in here. I don't know. Who knows how that came to play? It's stupid. Never should have been in there. Dumb. The movie's dumb, but it's so-so. All right, I saw So I Married an Axe Murderer, which I haven't seen. I've seen a long time. It used to be on HBO all the time in the 90s, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Mike Myers, he doesn't like Mike Myers himself to death in that one. It's like just the right dose. It's pretty good. I think it still holds up in my opinion.
I really like Nancy Travis. Whatever happened to her?
Yeah, she was she in that one movie, Blood Diamond? She showed up in Blood Diamond, I think it was. Well, the last time I saw her.
She's been on the Kandinsky method, or the
Kaminsky method?
Kaminsky
the one with Arkin and Douglas?
Yeah, she's been on that.
Oh, okay.
I knew you recommended that, didn't you, Travis?
It's a good show.
Yeah, I should watch that. I would think I would like that. Okay, she's still alive. Good to know. Nancy Travis. Was she actually related to Randy Travis, the country singer, or were they brother and sister?
No,
anybody?
I don't think he's British.
If anybody knows, email the show. Cinnamon9pod.
She is British. He is not. I'm going to guess they're not related.
Oh, wait. Someone's British? One of those Travises is British?
Nancy Travis is British.
No shit. Gosh, she's doing a great job of covering up
Isn't
that
she?
accent.
I mean, I could be wrong.
No.
Now I got to find out.
She
I
seemed very
I could just be
American,
thinking
but-
of the movie Three Men and a Baby, and I just internalized that. Like, oh, she's got a British accent. Clearly, Nancy Travis is British. I'm looking it up.
She's
Thank
from
you, yeah.
Queens.
Effort that.
Is
She's
that
from Queens.
Queens,
Or New
England?
York. No, it's not. It's not Queensland.
Oh,
That's
dear
that.
Lord.
Reverse it.
All right. Now I watched The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg.
What'd you think?
I got The Gambler. You didn't like it?
Why'd you like it?
I liked the story. I thought the performances were great.
I liked it. I thought it was a nice, subdued little semi-thriller.
I think it has some of the. It's slightly the problem with I Care a Lot. Like I just don't know if I really want to like get on board with this guy. That was a slight problem. I think that would be my only beef. But it's well done. It's actually quite like a philosophical thinking person's movie in a sense. There's a lot going on there. So John Goodman's. I wish there was more John Goodman in that movie. I really loved his character in that.
Yeah.
Brie Larson, a little underused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember thinking when that movie came out, like, this is going to be a big deal. Like, people are going to really like this movie, and no one talked about it. No one thought anything about it. I'm like, oh, shit. All right. I guess I was wrong on that one.
Yeah, I think it went over like mainstream society's head. But
Society.
it's my I will recommend it. I have some issues with it, but that's my recommendation for the week. So there you go. Check out The Gambler. It's only 6-7 years old. It's 2014. All right, there it is. Those are our quarantine viewing picks.
Well,
we did it.
Let me say one last thing, because I started Zack Snyder's
You
Justice
did?
League. I'm a half hour in, which means I only have 4 more hours to go, but I'll be able to report on that next week, as I'm sure you
Shit,
guys
I might have
will too.
to. Yeah,
Jump in tonight. Yeah.
I really, I'm pro Zack Snyder, and I like I didn't hate the Justice League movie, but I very much wanted to see what the original cut looked like. So I got to get on that stat. Good call. Good call. That reminds me also, I watched WandaVision, which is not a movie. Technically, it's a TV show. And,
You weren't happy with it ultimately? Did you fast forward through it? That's a yes. That much laughter and
wait.
pause. That's a yes.
The only time I fast forwarded, I think, was like the early episodes. Where I was like, nothing's happened. I fast forwarded and I lost nothing. I was still up to date on everything. That was like episode 1 or 2. But once it got going, like you said, Travis,
the first episodes are not great, to be honest.
They're
But I think it really picks up after that.
it does.
I was
But like
really
it
happy
even
with it.
picks up. It even picks up so much, like we were saying in the text thread at the last episode. Like, why does these Disney shows have to have these filler episodes? Like, why can't every episode be amazing? Because they could do that. There's so many fun things you could do. It's not like there's not enough time.
I didn't feel like there was that much filler in this. I felt like there was some mystery unwinding and that kind of stuff. I didn't feel like there was a ton of filler, personally.
All right. Well, that would be, episode 7 or 8 where Agatha wants to unleash the secrets of her past. Like, I guess if you want to see that stuff, which we kind of already know about, but it was never fully fleshed out, that would be cool.
Yeah, I like that. We got. I feel like we're not going to get much more of Scarlet Witch's backstory and that kind of stuff to really get that fully developed and her childhood and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was cool.
Okay, right. And by the way, I love White Vision. It was so cool to see White Vision. That's my favorite Vision. All right.
Spoilers.
Cinema Night Podcast at ProtonMail.com. I'm Cinema Night Pod. It's time to get to the main event. Does it hold up? Of course. It is Darkman, 1990 film. This was brought to us by Eric Brandstrom, of all people. So, Eric, why don't you lead it off? Take us back in time. Tell us about your first Darkman experience.
Well, gentlemen, as you know, I was a frequent visitor to the Meyer Video Store in beautiful Brighton, Michigan. And I always talk about the stack of movies I get from back in the day. It was The Crow, Last Action Hero, and you guessed it, friends, Darkman. Me and my older brother Marty would watch this every night. We would just watch it and watch it and watch it. And I haven't seen it in so long, so I was really interested to see if it held up, because I just remember it being this fucking really weird kind of superhero movie, and I haven't seen anything like it since maybe Deadpool came along, but we're talking 25 years. So I wanted to see if it was still, a fucking dark, like R-rated horror comedy superhero film. Come on, there's nothing like this.
Is Sin City count? I don't know. Is that not same, or is that just comic book?
I would say that's similar. I mean, I think it's comparable.
Okay, well, I'll leave that as it lies. Travis, do you remember the first time you saw Darkman?
Pretty well. I mean, I didn't see it in theaters, but like RoboCop, this was one that my mom's ex-boyfriend who recorded movies for us, we were like begging him to record for us, and so we had it pretty early on. And me and my brother watched. We watched the fuck out of it. You know, we loved it. We thought it was so great. You know, Sam Raimi. I have feelings like about Sam Raimi now that you know, I don't know how I feel about him as a director in some ways now. Like I wasn't thrilled when I learned that he had taken over for Scott Derrickson for the second Doctor Strange movie, for instance. But as a kid, like other than Steven Spielberg, Raimi was the first director I was aware of. Like, you know, as far as like a name who I know this person's work. I follow him because I watched both, like because my older brother, you know, all of the Evil Dead movies, including Army of Darkness, and then this, and so like you know, once I really kind of put it to it, like, oh, these are all the same guy. They all look similar and shit. You know, by the time you know, yeah. So early on. Sam Raimi was a big influence on me. So I hadn't watched Darkman in many years, although I watched a lot as a kid. Again, like way too young. But and then I watched it maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and had nice things to say about it on the show. And I'm glad to get a chance to get deeper involved and have a bigger conversation about it.
I have given a name to my pain.
You know, I think. Yes, that's the first. That was also because you said the first name director. That's interesting. I'm going to take that to heart, Travis. Sam Raimi played a big role in Travis's life.
Yeah,
and he, you know, he was from Michigan. He is from Michigan, right? Isn't that true?
Yeah, Royal Oak.
Yeah, thank you. Right. All right. So the whole bit with the Evil Dead and all this stuff has a Michigan background. I got to tell you, I never saw Darkman, so I don't have a story to go back on. This was my first viewing, and I've got a lot of things to say about that, which I will just extrapolate as we go along with the show. So let's just move ahead to the breakdown. Anybody care to guess what this is on IMDb? Anybody got an idea? Ballpark figure on the rating?
6'9".
6'9".
God damn it.
I'm going to assume it gets the respect it deserves, but probably is in the mid sixes, 6'4", 6'5".
That is bullshit.
That is very good. It's definitely 6.4. Not bullshit at all. Well done. Nice work. You're pretty good at that. I got to say. You are pretty good at that, Eric.
Or
No. I would never do that.
That's good. If you betray the integrity of the show, then
it's all over.
I don't know if we. Yeah.
There's no 51st episode.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, this could be it. Darkman on Rotten Tomatoes, 84%. Critics digging it. Very, very popular, especially since it came out right after Batman. But audience, 59%. That is not fresh. That's a dumped over bucket of popcorn on the floor. But it's not a green splat, so I don't know.
The green splat is like someone threw an unripe tomato, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like a bucket of snot or something. I mean, because popcorn has nothing to do with tomatoes.
You're right. It's we are probably analyzed that more than it's ever been analyzed. I would say
that is the show. We tend to analyze
unnecessarily. Unnecessary, absolutely not necessary. Critically, Jonathan Rosenbaum of the Chicago Reader says Raimi's flair for jazzy visual effects and extravagant action sequences, combined with direction that's full of punch and energy, makes this the best pop roller coaster ride around. Wow.
Around.
Yeah, I mean, that's high praise. Not seeing Destin. I guess Destin had other things to do in 1990 or even after 1990. But Peter Travers said, Raimi's live-action comic book aims to deliver scares spiked with laughs. That it does, period. So.
Yeah, even with this material, Sam Raimi can't help himself. He's such like he loves Looney Tunes, and in every single Sam Raimi movie, you'll just have this instance or two of just the most silly, ridiculous, like cartoonish type thing going on.
Cartoony when Ted Raimi comes out of the sewer,
yeah, just straight Looney Tunes,
flopping around,
like Bugs Bunny coming out of like a little ball.
Yeah, there's some really cartoony moments here.
Let me give you a splat review just so we can keep it real. Dennis Schwartz of Dennis Schwartz Movie Reviews. Who doesn't know Dennis? A wild ride in dumb, escapist sci-fi hokum. I don't know. What does hokum mean? Hokum
means bullshit.
Yeah, trash? Okay.
No, it means like literally bullshit.
Literal bullshit. Okay. Karen James, New York Times, says Darkman sustains mild interest throughout, but it never takes off, partly because a real estate scam, gangland shootouts, city corruption, and a love story clutter up the sad story of Westlake's strange mutation. So, I think that's a pretty good
It's 1990, man. Your main villain has to be obsessed with creating and controlling a big new city.
There has to be a helicopter shootout. There has to be, there has to be the obligatory 2 gangland groups like coming together and shooting it out in a warehouse.
Okay. So can we go there, please? Because for a first time viewer, this opening of this movie is so fucking dumb. It's so hilarious. I was laughing. I was straight up laughing.
Wait, are you saying it's a bad idea to put cars into wooden crates and have them drive around indoors? Afterwards, is that a bad idea?
Have a laugh. If you're having a laugh, then have a laugh. But
the best part would be
the guy with nunchucks.
The best part is that they would not actually be able to break through the wooden crates, so they'd just be stuck in there, like accelerating, like pushing against the wood.
Yes, there's no. You're right. That's very poignant. You're right. There's no way they could work up the acceleration to get out of those things. Jeez, but you're right. So the comedy hijinks comes right at the beginning. Because they all dump their weapons out
on a bunch of dicks.
Yeah, right. And it's like, why would you?
What? Why? Okay. Why does the movie open with this? I mean, it's got nothing to do with Peyton Westlake. None of the plot. It's like something about gang war. Like
it's like something that they filmed and they didn't know where to put it.
Where do we exactly? But I guess it'd make a good prologue.
That it really didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it let you know who Durant and his crew was. But actually, before we get too deep into things, I have. If you guys will indulge me, I have a little game for you. I'd like to play, and it's called Guess That Movie. And I'm going to tell you a bunch of plot points, and I want you to wait until I'm done and then guess which movie I'm talking about. All right. It's set in Detroit. There's a quasi superhero, and he gets involved with some sort of real estate villainy. There's like a bad guy who's kind of less dangerous than the employee who works for him, and he sends this employee and a group of like unique thugs, each with their own little personalities, out to fight the guy, and then he gets basically murdered, separating him from his love, resurrected with a new set of powers or abilities, proceeds to extract vengeance by killing these people one by one. Kills the main henchman, and it's kind of anticlimactic and downhill after that when he finally kills the real estate broker guy who plunges to his death. Which movie am I talking about?
There it is. Well, I'll say The Crow, Mike. You can say the other one.
Yeah,
The Crow, RoboCop, or Darkman.
That is.
when they killed him in the death scene, I immediately was thinking RoboCop did it way more. I'm like, this. You're not putting any fear into me here, guys. You got to be more vulgar. I've seen RoboCop. I've seen Peter Weller be murdered. I've seen Murphy be murdered. You got to step up the gore in this one.
He was literally in front of a bomb that blew up in his face.
Right.
Doesn't get much more murdered than that. Apparently he had superpowers before.
I agree. I agree.
Apparently the concussive force of that blast didn't destroy every particle of his being.
They took my hands. They took my hands. They took my hands.
Well, Mike, I agree. This is a rated R movie, and that's one of my biggest faults. I love this movie, but one of the biggest faults is it doesn't really push the gas pedal down to the floor with its R rating. They could have done so much more up the end, especially a filmmaker like Sam Raimi, who's got buckets of blood usually flying all over the place.
This is PG-13. It really is.
Yes, PG-13.
That was my big beef too. I'm like, all right, well, this is going to be Darkman. It's rated R. I was like, okay, I should be in for something. I had a slight expectation of what it could be, and it wasn't really that. And you knew the love story thing. I'm like, oh God. I was already, from the moment I started watching the movie, I started playing out the plot points, kind of like Travis just did very well with the whole movie. Like, okay, there's got to be someone he loves, and they'll go home and have fun, and they'll set up the love, and then he's going to have that love taken away, and blah, 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 which is... that's just formulaic of the time, right? That's how these movies work, I guess, in a sense. But
it's fun.
It's not that fun though. That's the thing. Like so if we look at this, Liam Neeson he's adequate. He's not bad. He's a good presence. He's got a good face and size, and he does a good job when he's in the makeup and all the extra shit that's on him. I was like, wow, that looks pretty cool. Like with the teeth and like the face being all kind of broken apart. But like I'm not going to get pissed about the effects. I won't.
Let's do the rest of the show where we talk like he would talk. Because he doesn't have any lips. So for the rest of the podcast, let's talk like Darkman would actually talk. I got to put a strip of gauze between my teeth.
Online at ProtonRail.com.
Yeah, Frances McDormand is in this movie, and it's like, wow, she's a really good actress, and she's in this movie. But this was earlier times. She's still earning her way.
And she's good friends with the Raimis. I mean, isn't she?
Oh,
she's Joel's wife.
She's Joel. She's Joel Cohen's
Cohen's
wife. And the Coens and the Raimis are like old friends. So
well, you know what, Ed? I did not know that. Okay,
she's not your typical damsel in distress here. I mean, I thought there was a nice sweetness to her, nice professional.
Yeah, but everybody else in this movie is like people that are not. This is a low budget in terms of what they paid the actors, because there's no other. All the bad guys, I don't even recognize most of those faces. I know Larry Drake, I know Benny, yes, of course. But like,
Ted Raimi, the least convincing henchman in film history. That scorpion tattoo on his phone, like, no fucking way. This little toady is going to go out and get that tattooed on him. No fucking way.
No way.
No? Why not?
Don't buy it. He's so soft and squishy looking.
Well, what about the peg leg machine gun? Wasn't that cool?
Hey, apparently if you have a peg leg machine gun, you could kill 50 people who have guns aimed on you at once.
And they have the high ground. Yes, I guess that doesn't matter either.
And you can survive that opening scene, but never return for the rest of the movie with your gimmick. I mean, like
he breaks it out once more when very unnecessarily when they go to Westlake's place. They got the dude's hopping on his peg leg, and
he's already hopping.
And the guy from Wayne's World is holding the other leg.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up, Travis. I was definitely going to bring that up. The guy in Wayne's World is a badass murderer, and then he plays the goofy camera guy in Wayne's World after that. Wow, what a range! Very impressed.
Oscar worthy.
Okay, so did you guys have any familiarity with the source material? Either one of you?
There is no source material.
No, this is the original screenplay.
It was.
This was he couldn't get the rights to Batman or anything else that he wanted to do, so he literally just developed his own superhero and went with it.
That's why I give it a ton of credit, because he delivers. He's compelling as fuck character, super interesting, carries the whole film.
Oh, well, I'm reading these reviews, and it seems like they're referencing comic book lore, so that's my fault.
No, I wanted to do the Shadow and Batman, but he couldn't get the rights, so he's like, fuck it, I'll write my own.
It's comic booky. He is a superhero. I mean, it's a superhero movie. They got Danny Elfman to do the music for a fucking reason, right?
Okay. So there you go. Yeah. So as soon as Danny Elfman's a part of this movie in the intro, you already get the Batman feel, and you can't remove it. And then the fact that he basically lives and acts as chemicals, that again is another one where you're like, okay, this guy lives there already. Which is also the same place that looks like the hideout where the guys hang out in RoboCop. All three of those places look the same.
Yeah.
I love the production design. It kind of reminds me of Quasimodo and the Bell Tower of Notre Dame, both the character and the design of the lab. So I dig it.
I like the convenience of a bomb that leaves my person intact and all of my delicate scientific equipment intact.
Yes!
Everything I need is intact.
All the monitors
work. Pretty great.
I couldn't let that go.
Best explosion that could possibly happen to a person. And then Dr. Exposition comes along and explains that, and this is a real condition too, by the way. Like, it does not give you superpower, but there are people that, that cannot feel pain. They have to do things like set alarms so they shift, because if they sit on their foot for too long, cross-legged too long, they're going to do damage to themselves. But
are they in circular wheels like that too?
No, I don't think so.
Just wondering.
For examination only. That's so they can laugh at him.
But I couldn't let it go when he sets up his
him.
When he sets up his new lair.
Round and round he goes. Where's John Doe stop? Nobody knows.
When he sets up his new lair and he has all this shit all of a sudden, I'm like, where's he getting all this stuff? He's no longer a scientist with a relevant billing order. Like, he can't order this shit anymore. How's he getting all this stuff? I kept thinking about that. I know it's too anal. It's too anal, but I couldn't let go.
The thing I kept asking myself is, why does this brilliant scientist not think to manufacture 2 masks and put one in a bag and then go to the bathroom after an hour and a half?
There you go.
Oh boy!
Why does this not occur to you, dude? Why have you got 99 minutes on this thing? Why are you sitting on a bus bench at 98 minutes in waiting for a bus?
He knows how much time he has. It's been set up in the beginning of the movie. 99 minutes, sir. Damn it. We know it. It's burning our brains. But he's always pushing it to the very last second with no backup.
His poor ventilated assistant who conveniently knows karate because he's Japanese.
Oh,
so of course he knows karate.
Yes. That was so blatantly awful. It was so blatantly awful too. Yes, you're right. So there's a
Oh no, Eric, it's okay, buddy.
I forgot about that shit.
That's bad. That was blatantly bad. No doubt about it. But I do know this. That like the movie is so typical and routine that like I just don't buy. I didn't buy into it a lot. Like, I don't have no beef with how the setup is, because this is how these movies are. I know it's 31 years old. I get that. But I don't know. This goes back to something we've covered so many times. Both of you guys have said it. I've said it. No nostalgic connection in this movie, so I'm like seeing it for the first time,
Well,
just like you said.
movies.
Yeah, just like you said, Eric, when you watched what was it? The one we just did, Joe Dirt. So,
I had nothing connected, nothing.
And I didn't sit in misery with this at all. I'm just saying it just looked different to me.
Well, I mean, for me, it's not really that typical routine. I mean, he's kind of, I don't know if I'd call him a superhero. He's kind of like a super anti-hero, but you put like Quasimodo, like I said, maybe Eric from the Phantom of the Opera, and even maybe Joseph Merrick in a blender, and you got this really kick-ass, interesting character. And it absolutely harkens back to Universal Horror, which I'm just obsessed with, and I love that feeling from the get-go.
Yeah, that world didn't work out, dude. They failed that one. That's how much people loved it. They could set up all these movies for Universal Horror genre and universe, and then failed.
Not like the Darkman universe, but I'm talking about old school 1930s.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about
Horror.
too. Invisible Man, the Frankenstein, all that shit. Yeah, that didn't go very well.
It's really convenient of people to leave clothes in dumpsters so that people like Eric Draven and Peyton Westlake can go dumpster diving in the rain and get clothes that they never replace again. My favorite part is when he's Durant at the end, and then he takes off Durant's coat, and he has the shitty, like, tattered trench coat on underneath Durant's coat.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's his costume. It's his uniform. It's his superhero.
Oh, whoa, come on, dude. Take it easy. He's got that beautiful maroon collared shirt when he's in the lab.
That's true. It's helpful when he fights the Wayne's World guy.
Yeah, it just seems like all of his techniques are convenient when they're convenient for him, and then they're not. It does seem like
Wayne's World guy sees sees himself running towards him and attacks himself easily, and then sees himself walk up again, and he's all stunned and he can't stop. and Westlake can even like make a clever quip. You have been a very bad boy.
I love that shit, man. The lines in this movie are hilarious. Like, there's no like clever
You gotta be
quip.
shitting me. These are the kinds of one-liners that are in this movie.
They make me you're next, Durant. I'm coming for you. Kiss your ass goodbye. It's just funny.
Well, I will give them this. The finger collection is very graphic. I'll give them that. That is definitely diabolical.
I had never seen a cigar cutter when I was a kid. That was the first one I ever saw. So my whole life, if I see one of those, that's it. That's what I think of. I think of someone's finger going in there.
Yeah, they're not that powerful. That was the other thing that bothered me. You cannot chop a finger off with a cigar cutter. You would need a tremendous amount of pressure to make that bone get cut off.
Just imagine like Durant be like, hang on, I got this. Hang on, I got this.
Clearly,
give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. How did we get those cars through those cardboard big ass planes? We need that kind of accelerated power.
Where's that asshole with the nunchucks?
Physics out the window in this movie. That's fine. You find that man. I'll tell you this. The end gets totally pointless, like you said. It's anticlimactic after the big helicopter blowout. Like you said, who gives a shit by then?
Even that blow, like, for one, I don't know if they were planning on making Return of Durant the sequel with Jeff Fahey.
Clearly.
At that point, because it was another 6 years before they got around to doing that. But to have your main villain, the threatening villain, the one that you're actually scared of, like, you don't even really see him die. I mean, you see the explosion, of course, and like you can infer that like he's blown up, he's gone. But it's a pretty anticlimactic ending for Robert G. Durant. And then that like it's gonna be like he's gonna fight this other guy, but this other guy is like he's a fucking corporate guy. Like you're not.
He's a
like,
suit.
He's no match for Darkman. So like it's just kind of
but he's got him on his playing field because he's
got
grew up on the
he's got
high
the girl.
beams.
And my favorite part is when like all physics are defied and somehow her body like crosses through those bars, those beams, and then like her thing.
I zoned out during that part. I didn't even know what was happening anymore. I'm like, are they flying around on beams and falling off or not? I was very confused.
So, I mean, I thought a lot about The Fugitive while watching this last night, and The Fugitive kind of does something similar. And if you set up your character's plight and like his revenge in a way, you can have like the main henchman die like early on, like Sykes, the one-armed man, and then be still interested when Dr. Kimball has to go after Charles Nichols, who's the mastermind of the whole operation, if you do it right. And if the characters are written strong enough where you give a shit that he takes it all the way to the top. Here, I do get a little.
Hey, the reality is that with this, The Crow and RoboCop, all of them kind of are a little. They go once that main henchman dies. It's like, okay, we can go ahead and wrap it up now.
Sweeping up the room after the party.
Right.
Yep, that's true. We're talking Darkman here on the Cinema 9 podcast. Yeah. Does it hold up or not? We're getting close to that point. What else do we need to talk about with this film? I mean,
take the fucking elephant.
You gotta bring it up.
That was so okay. That was one of the funniest parts of the movie when this rage engagement scenery that goes through his brain.
Them screaming at once. It's the gummy fingers just twisted over. They're all like staring at it.
Yeah. Stretch Armstrong.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's all boom, boom, boom with their faces up close. Like,
he's a freak, ladies and gentlemen, a freak. A freak. I tell you, a freak.
Why is that guy being such a dick about the elephant, though? Why is he being such a dick about the elephant? Come on.
Well, he's toying.
Get lost.
Yeah, why don't you get lost?
I think they do a good job because Peyton's emotions are affected by the tragedy, and like when his face gets all red and he splits, it's really showing you what's going on inside because his emotions are all fucked up.
And in case you can't tell what's going on inside, Sam Raimi very delicately and subtly shows you synapses glowing and bright blue and then turning red. Very subtly. You know, in the way that he does, will have the background fracturing and all this stuff. You know, Sam Raimi, like watching this movie, I for like the millionth time while watching a Sam Raimi movie, I'm thinking, where the fuck is the person that reins you in, dude? Like, why not? Like, I'm not saying that I have a problem with everything he does, but it's like whenever, like, every director has their own like flourishes. We talked about like Wes Anderson's kind of like camera movements and Spielberg's camera movements. You can kind of like start to recognize some of this stuff. And then Sam Raimi's are so like, I think the mark of a great director is that you usually kind of lose yourself in the film. And Sam Raimi reminds you often that you're watching a movie.
Yes.
And I think that's like
Gus Van Sant, you're watching. Yeah, he doesn't do things like that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think that he just I mean, I like so many of his movies, but like it's the over embellishments. So I'm like, oh man, why couldn't you just brought it back a little bit, dude?
I can appreciate that comment, but for me, that's why I love him. I mean, getting the POV of the nails shooting out of the nail gun, like,
that's cool.
Think to do that.
That's one of the coolest parts in the movie. Actually,
there's some cool shots. There's some cool. There was one scene with him, and he's Darkman. He's like looking out with his eye through the bandages. It looks pretty cool.
Yes, I wrote that down. In fact, like Bill Pope's cinematography, who also worked with the Wachowskis with Bound and The Matrix, it's fucking awesome. That shot when Peyton's laying in the alley and all the rain's just drenching down on him, it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, that's pretty well done. I don't know why that motivates him though to go to the new layer. I didn't really make the connection on that part, but whatever. At that point, I was just like, okay, this guy's pissed. I feel for him. He's a nice guy. His assistant got killed, and this fucking memo gets too much play too. I don't know why this missing memo is the ultimate link.
The Belisarius memorandum.
And it just so happens that his girlfriend of all people,
come on, man.
I don't know why it bothers me, but it does. I got
of all people. How about of all people, someone who's developing like new skin,
the new Delta City.
Right. No. A scientist whose job is researching skin and like new faces and that kind of stuff. How convenient that you lose your, but that's whatever.
And his lab's like in this shitty building above, like in this
Detroit, obviously,
rat part of town. This guy's on cutting edge things that have never been done in the history of mankind. And then boom.
Raimi's depiction of Detroit is either the Renaissance Center, or just like alleys and abandoned warehouses. There's nothing in between. Literally.
Yeah. But again, if I may, that's why it reminds me and gives me that love I have for the old Universal Pictures, where it was just a fucking set on the Universal lot, not much there in terms of production design, so it's just all atmosphere, and you can get to them with the characters a little more.
Yeah, I was really worried about the stuntman that was hanging from the helicopter scene, because it goes on for a while, and like they're like flying around the city, and I'm like, is it a dummy? I hope that's a dummy, because this movie just did not need to like put this man's life at risk for this. And then he starts waving, go away. I'm like, fuck. They put a real
were those real explosions too, or were those green screen explosions? I couldn't tell half the time between the green screen and then the helicopter going back and forth. So
that's not good.
It was so. I know it's an older movie, so I'm not going to give it a lot of shit. But it seems like the budget ran a little dry for certain things, and then they're like, "Well, we just got to do our best with what we got left here."
And the stunts are awesome. Like when Darkman, like when all this stuff's happening to Darkman, and like he's flying around the helicopter, he's getting tossed around. He's not like in the zone and like in total control. He's like, shit! Like he's fucking scared.
Hands.
Yes, you're right.
Man.
He's he should be. He's not in touch with his emotions. All he has is his emotions. They're out of control. So, Derek Fern said, Derek Fern, former guest on the show, I absolutely loved Darkman when I was a wee lad.
And so did I. I mean, I absolutely loved it. And I really enjoyed myself when I watched it a few months ago. And I think like some movies, like, you know, I don't know that I should come at it as hard as I do. I did not take nearly the notes that I usually do. Like with Joe Dirt, I kind of set it down like, okay, this is just not the kind of movie that demands that kind of intense scrutiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you my favorite part of the movie, since I've been mostly bashing it. The scene where I don't know, fat Telly Savalas gets thrown out of the window and lands in the car, and like the lady like screams and turns around and sees like that's awesome.
Really
like
cool.
That's really cool. You know, I really like that moment despite the fact that he's lost track of time.
That was well done.
Yeah, that was cool. There is a lot of stuff in here that is really cool, and there's a lot of stuff in here that was really cool in 1990 when I was 10.
Yeah, that's the guy from The Naked Gun. I recognize that guy instantly. I love that guy. He's just always a goon. That guy will always be a goon. I don't know. I could look up the rest of his IMDb. I don't have to. I know he's a goon in every movie. Perfect goon.
Constant eating goon in this one.
Yes, classic goonage. Well, should we get to the final verdict here? Anything else? Is there anything else pressing from this film that we did not cover? Let me ask this one thing before we get to that. What about the emotional buy-in of like his pain? Does it really get to anybody here? Because I just...
Yes, man, dude. Every time it still got me last night. I tear it up. When his hand just all of a sudden starts on fire and he goes from kind of being in the zone back to his old life to realizing slowly that he's not even barely a man anymore. I think that's fucking powerful as hell still.
I think that Liam Neeson is a great actor. Like, he's a great actor. And I'm glad that he got this role because I think this helped his career, obviously. And it gave him, I mean, I keep on joking about his mournful sobs and wailing and stuff, but he does get a chance, but he does get a chance to like, to really display some anguish and that kind of stuff. And it could be really cheesy. I never saw the sequels. I bet Jeff Fahey doesn't do it as well. I think that, he is a good actor and he does the best he possibly could with this material.
Guess who he wanted to play the lead?
Michael Keaton.
Bruce Campbell.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah. Instead, he's the last face that he puts on at the end of the movie.
Yeah, where did he get that face? Like, who is that fucking guy?
It's just some dude. It's Bruce Campbell. The very last face that he puts on, he disappears into the crowd.
Yeah. Where did Peyton get like the program to make that face?
I mean, he probably took a picture of some dude. They just didn't show it.
Well,
come on, Eric. Suspend your disbelief. Why are you being so picky about this movie?
That's true.
There was a lot of, if you read the IMDb trivia, script writing issues. So this kind of shows in this film to me a little bit, like not knowing where to place things, like you said, Travis, with the opening segment and things like that. So maybe
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah,
if you were to disappear and be presumed dead for months, and you knew that you could reveal yourself back to your loved ones at any time and place, would you choose your own gravesite? Do you want to give him a fucking heart attack?
Show up in the graveyard and spend the next 3 hours convincing her you're not a ghost.
Hey, at least it was daytime. It wasn't nighttime. Yeah.
He didn't have 3 hours. He had 90 minutes. 99.
Yes, that photosynthesis. That photo. The photons.
Tombstone.
Goddamn photons.
I like when he sees her like conveniently. She's like walking out, like when he first stumbles out and he sees her and runs up and he's like, and she goes in the opposite direction, like, and rather than trailing after her being like, it's Peyton, he's just like, oh fuck, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go lay down in rainwater for a while.
Come on now.
Oh, doctor. Yeah, well, let's call it. Let's time of death on this movie, 1:13, 52 seconds. Eric Branstrom, why don't you lead it off? You chose the film, so.
The best part about this movie for me is the fact that it is indeed an original story. You don't always have to rely on existing source material. Try something new, for God's sakes. Writer-director Sam Raimi gives us an interesting, fresh story that pays a lot of homage to the old Universal horror, but we also have like an interesting kind of a new take on the Shelley's The Creature character, as well as a couple other things I mentioned. The pace is fantastic. It clips along. It's never boring. There's this beautiful pathos to the character. It's a blissful 95 minutes, which makes it super rewatchable. And there's so much energy. The camera floats around like a fucking beach ball, hardly ever stops. It's harmless, fun entertainment and super unique. Holds up completely.
Fantastic. Travis, how about you?
I mean, I wonder if I had not watched this a few months ago, how I'd feel now watching it, because I was pretty geeked about it a few months ago when I wasn't watching it as critically.
Yeah.
But watching it, last night last night, it just felt like kind of a constant. It didn't feel like like this is what his third movie, and it didn't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like it felt like someone who was given a studio budget who had for the first time and didn't know quite what to do with it, and really struggled and got like, oh, thank God we got Danny Elfman. Doesn't matter that the score doesn't match what's going on screen half the time, and it's just like way overwrought, and like there's like this huge orchestral explosions while like he waits for a clock to finish, like a timer to go. You know what I mean? Like it's just like there's just like this stuff. There's just as I watched the movie, the parade of flaws that were not aware to me, that I was not aware of when I watched it at my last viewing. Because the last viewing was like, oh, nostalgia, and this time I was like, is this a good movie? Does this hold up? No, it does not. Not for me.
Oh,
well, God damn it.
We know Eric is very sensitive to these matters, but hey, it's not personal.
My movie.
It's my movie. Julie.
Oh, well, I'll do it with my.
I talk like this for the
never saw this before. But one thing I learned on this film is that not everybody can succeed in movie making. All right. So in the end, Sam Raimi, you just mentioned, I looked over Sam Raimi's overall profile. His name is known, and people, I think generally your typical person will be like, oh yeah, he's a real fella. He's known for some good stuff. And
he's a real fella.
Yeah, he exists.
I look at the overall profile, I'm like, The Quick and the Dead. I know there's a lot of so. In this movie, maybe I was just in a cynical mood. I don't know, but it doesn't. I think the simple answer here is what you did at the beginning of this analysis, Travis, with the reviewing of the other movies that are done so much better. If movies similar to this type of film are done much better, and they have a part of me in them, like I've committed some of my life to those movies. I love RoboCop and Batman. Those movies were incredible to me growing up, so they're already burned in my brain. It also is an exercise in, and this is something I've learned, it's our 50th episode, so I've really thought about this.
Happy 50th episode.
Happy 50th, everyone. Yes, cheer. Here. And I said good day, sir.
Here, Julie.
That was funny. The face you made and the noise. That was great. That was good. So I've been seriously the objective analysis of a film, and I think I could write like a whole paper about this. I've really had this epiphany about our emotional attachments to film and things that aren't objects, but like artwork, like film, music, other things that are ethereal. You can see them, you can hear them, you can't necessarily touch them. You could hold a box copy in your hand, sure, but this emotional attachment changes the profile, and it's just so blatantly obvious. And maybe it's always been obvious to everybody else, and those who watch movies like, oh, I love this movie because I love it. That's why I love it. I don't give a shit what anyone else says. Yep. That's true. But I always thought that like I had a keen eye. I was like, oh, I know a good movie when I see it. But clearly it's all just tied up in all of these experiences we have with these films. And this is, for me, it's just that this movie doesn't have it. And when I watch it critically for the first time as my first viewing, I just thought it was kind of silly and poorly done at times, and things didn't make sense. And in the end, I just don't think this movie holds up. And it's nothing personal against individual people who are talented in this film. Just the overall thing doesn't hold up. That's the bottom line. Sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing in 1990, and like rightly so. But
yeah, I wish I'd seen it when I was 10 or 11. I really do.
Yeah, you probably would feel differently about it, but maybe not that much, because I loved this as a kid. But you know,
That's how it goes.
My name isn't Buddy. It's Robert T. Durant.
The good news, Eric, is that you can still love this movie for the rest of your life, regardless of what we say. That's the good news. So.
Just fine.
All right, there it is. Judgment has been rendered on our 50th episode, Darkman, a 1990 film. Does it hold up or not? You can let us know. Watch the film. Let us know. Cinema9pod at protonmail.com. We would hate to spoil the streak on our 50th episode, but, if you feel like emailing the show, please do. You can also DM us on Twitter, our Facebook page. You can engage with us on the Instagram page as well. We have a lot of different feeds and plenty of places where you can talk films with us. I'm going to make the selection for next week's show, but then we're going to do what, Travis?
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do next. What? What?
Going to play another game. Selection.
Oh, yeah.
Selection.
Yeah.
Selection.
Yeah. I'm ready. You want me to talk about that first?
Yeah.
So we played a game. Last time it was time for listener's choice, and we pretended we were using a friend of the show, Jimmy Takis's VHS collection. And we posted those movies on Facebook, and then through a process of elimination, everybody every day gets one choice. If you follow us on Facebook, you get to select a movie to not be the one that we choose. So it's a process of elimination. So this time we're going to do that again. I'm going to post the selection of movies. This time the movies have been chosen. The VHS collection of this time belongs to friend of the show, Chris Deary.
Okay.
He kindly provided a list of films for us. So we will post those very soon. So if you're not already Facebook friends with us, follow us on Facebook so you can be a part of that selection process. And also you can catch us live whenever we record on Thursdays.
This is great news.
That is great news. That's cool. I wonder what Deary's movie selection looks like. I can't wait.
You'll see soon. He made some great choices.
Actually, no, you will see soon. Yes, that sounds great. Okay, cool. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for contributing to the show as always. You've always been a very loyal part of our Cinema 9 community.
And we should throw out again, since Mike does not plug his other podcast, that Chris is also, if you want more of Mike and you think this Chris guy sounds like a good fella, check out the Palazzo podcast if you like baseball things, yes. Right? Baseball?
Very oriented with baseball, yes. Yeah.
Yes. So, the Palazzo podcast, a reference to the film Naked Gun. It's Enrique Palazzo. So if you don't know how to spell Palazzo, just Google Naked Gun, then Google, umpire.
Oh, no, I got a tagline. I got a tagline for that show. 2 L's, 2 Z's. That's all it is. 2 L's, 2 Z's.
All right, there you
Easy. Go. Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
You want to take a dinghy? No, I took care of that at the press conference.
There you go. All right. So for next week's film, though, I have to choose a movie. And I've been pretty good about it in recent times. I've been having a lot of selections that were ready to rock. This is not one of those weeks. Is someone hitting you?
Eric's praying right now.
Praying for no reason.
Oh, wait. Chad says maybe your email is not working. I emailed you fellas a couple weeks ago. It's very possible not a single one of us have checked that email in over 3 months.
I have no means to check it. I don't even know the password. I don't even know the email address. I have no fucking idea.
We sound like we're an organized bunch, aren't we?
I murdered that Instagram account, man. You guys take care of all of everything else.
Yeah, true.
Okay, that's fine.
We got the email.
Yes. So, Chad, I would like to let you know you are correct, and we owe you an apology. On March 11th, which was just this past week, Joe Dirt. Hey, heard you guys were watching Joe Dirt. I think I described David Spade as tolerable. Do you fellas like that guy? Would he show up on your list of favorite SNL cast members? You suppose he'd show up on anyone's? ? Chad.
Sounds like a leading question, Chad.
Yeah.
I don't think you like David Spade, Chad. I like David Spade. I don't know that I would put him on my list of favorite SNL guys. Maybe if it was a long list. But I do like David Spade. I like some of his TV shows too. I like Rules of Attraction or Rules of Engagement was a TV show that I watched all of, just because I think he's funny. I can't explain why.
Yeah, I'm not putting him on my top 20 cast members of all time, but I did really like him when he did the Hollywood Minute. That I think is his best thing he ever did on SNL. Pissed off Eddie Murphy so bad he swore to never return to the show again after the insults. But other than that, he did like and you are receptionist, and then like the bye-bye. Like
bye-bye.
Yeah, he was actually funnier when he wasn't sardonic. You're right.
Right.
Yeah, that was redone on the SNL 40th anniversary show. So that means it was part of lore. They got to squeeze that in, but it was very, very quickly squeezed in on that episode. So maybe it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, to throw in like a copier joke at the same time, kind of.
I gotta say, I'm gonna say that was pretty funny. I would put Rob Schneider as a higher cast member than David Spade, and I don't even love Rob Schneider, but making copies was so funny to me. And when I was 11 years old in 5th grade, me and Tim Roofer doing making copies over and over again to each other. It was a lot of fun. So I'll say that. But yes, Chad, nobody's been checking the email. We apologize. Thank you.
Nobody's been checking the email. We've just been complaining about not getting any emails.
I just went through them all. That was the only email we've got recently, so we didn't miss any other emails. Thank you, Chad, for letting us know. I would say David Spade, he's not on my top list at all of SNL classics. It's not even close.
Like, no Charles Rocket.
No, he's no Christopher Guest, even though he's only on the show for 1 year.
Charles Rocket's dead? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died recently. Suicide. He did.
Oh, shit.
Suicide.
Wasn't he made?
Yeah, suicide.
No,
bummer note to wrap the show up on, but
it really is. It really is.
But David Spade is just. He's not even close. Like a top, there you go. A top 20 list. I wouldn't put David Spade in my top 20 SNL characters. Too many great, talented people came through there that he would be maybe top 50, maybe. And that might even be a maybe.
Top 100, easy. Top 1,000 cast members of SNL, probably.
Yeah. Well, you're talking remember we talked Goldie Hawn. David Spade's probably really fun to hang out with, funny, but they just didn't really know what to do with him that much on the show. So yeah, that's all I can say.
Right. Okay, well, there it is. Thank you for the email, Chad. And that was actually a great prompt. And if we had known that before the show, we could have put some more time into our own list and stuff. That would have been fun. But
maybe we should check the emails in the future.
I will make sure that I do that. I assume that somebody caught something somewhere. But we are only human. I think that's why people like the show, because they know we have faults and flaws. We're not perfect. So
research says people like shows that are hosted by humans.
True. I have not heard a lot of popular podcasts hosted by bots.
I don't know if any podcast hosted by crocodiles or like ocelots.
By the way, why do they do that in Joe Dirt? They can go back and forth between saying alligators and crocodiles when they go down there. Did you notice that? Like, why?
I didn't notice that. It's all alligators. Yeah. There's no crocodiles down there.
Well, they kept doing croc talk, like he's making croc jokes. Like, dude, this is alligator farm. Stop
mixing this up. We're in America, buddy. We're not in India.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that.
Is that the difference?
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that in size. Crocodiles have skinnier heads.
You're listening to Croc Talk.
Croc Talk.
No, he learned that from my alligator teacher. That's what it's a documentary that preludes my octopus teacher. All right, so I got to Croc Talk.
Backwards. Maybe the alligators have the skinnier heads. I don't know.
Hey, email the show.
Anyways, there is a difference.
We'll tell you in 6 months.
So we're doing Lake Placid next week.
Oh, dear Lord.
I'm a fan.
I love Oliver Platt. I'd do it. Oh, are you picking which movie you're going to fast forward through next week right now?
I've been
too much Americana.
Yeah. Okay. Let's cut to crap. So next
week's movie, too much romance. Fast forward.
I don't know if you guys do. Do you guys have like a? Do you guys have like a list you keep of like movie ideas you want to do?
Yeah, and so I can go through it every week and be like, nope. No, not that one either.
They just said they hate it.
Well, there's some of these we've done, so I could delete them, but there's some that we haven't. So I think for next week's show, we just did Darkman. It was kind of goofy. It was different. I'd like to switch gears and take a different tone. Let's go to 2004. And let's go with, he's a director I'm a big fan of. And this movie, I don't know if it holds up or not. I want to know. I think we should find out. How about 2004's Closer, directed by Mike Nicholas, based on the play.
Oh, shit.
Good choice. I love
big change of direction from Darkman. So
wow.
That was my main point. I just wanted to switch gears.
Significantly so. But I think it's a good choice. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't caught it in a long time, but I used to think really highly of it. So it's
perfect.
It's a good one for the show.
That's great. Okay, cool. Wonderful. All right, there it is. So next week, join us for Closer. Natalie Portman, Jude Law, and the crew. Interesting movie based on a play, of course. So it's kind of play-like, I think.
Mike Nichols.
It's been a minute since I watched it either.
Talk about.
It has the famous, I mean, the song was like the thing with the blower's daughter is much more popular maybe than the movie
So
itself.
it is, or so
There
it is, or so it goes, or
there
whatever it is.
There it is.
No, you got it. You had
Closer.
it.
Yeah, put the kids to bed. It's about to get intense.
Acoustic
Yeah,
depression.
Oh, 2004. What is with 2004?
There was a lot of acoustic
Like,
depression. In
yeah,
2004.
Garden State. I believe that was
Oh, yeah.
2004 as well. Movies like that. It was a weird year. Strange. So, and Sunshine and Spotless Mind. I'm telling you, that was a weird time. All right. Thank you so much for watching the show.
War,
Thanks for
like,
listening.
we were like, there was like war going on. People were sad.
Yes, war, famine, death, AIDS. Yeah, it's not easy living out there. We do appreciate you guys being part of the show. Thanks so much. Next week, closer.
A lot of highlights this episode. Lots of funny moments. Talking
Yeah,
about
for our
suicide,
50th
fucking-
episode. I think we,
jokes.
yeah, for our 50th episode. I'm very proud of all of us. And here's to 50 more, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.